Mojang is changing villager traits, so now if you want to get all the enchantment books, you'll need a villager of each type, including the 2 secret ones that you can only get by breeding villagers in specific biomes. And the #1 complaint I've seen to this change is villagers are a pain to move. So if this is you, then stick around, because today we're going to see all there is to know about moving villagers from A to B without going crazy in the process. We'll start with beginner level to advanced techniques near the end of the video, so let's get started. Have you ever tried pushing villagers around, trying to get them into a house or a boat, only for them to go the exact opposite way? The first thing you need to learn, young grasshopper, is to not fight the movement of villagers, but flow with it. Wait a second, what does that even mean? Well, villagers are naturally attracted to certain things called points of interest, and we can use these points of interest to our advantage to easily move villagers over thousands of blocks. The first example of a point of interest is workstations. Unemployed villagers have only one goal: sleep all day. No, wait, that's only during the night, but during the day, their only goal is to get a job, and they do it through the workstation. So if there is no other workstation around and you place one on the ground, an unemployed villager will walk straight towards it. All these blocks are workstations, but the cheapest to make and the easiest to break is by far the composter. Workstations are a very powerful tool and can move a villager that is really far away, like that one over there. They can even solve crazy mazes to get to it. In fact, the area in which villagers can lock into a workstation is a 48 block radius sphere in Java, which you can see here. Huge. Keep in mind that any villager inside this area can attempt to take the workstation, so try to isolate the one you want first. You can even use workstations to put villagers in very precise locations, like for example inside this breeder. We just built a way for the villager to get up, place a workstation inside, and once the villager is in, we break it. You got tricked? So let's say that I want to move this villager from village A to village B. First, break all the workstations on village A, so the villager has nowhere else to go. Then place the workstation on the edge of the village and wait for the villager to come to it. Once it's close to it, break the workstation and place it in the direction of village B. Rinse and repeat, and bingo! You successfully moved your villager. Do you think your villager moves too slowly? Just splash it with a potion of swiftness and it will make everything way easier. I bet you never thought about that one. By the way, if you are finding this useful, make sure to like the video for more amazing Minecraft content. It really helps the channel, so thank you so much. Workstations work great, but only if there are no other workstations around for the villager to log into, and only during daytime. Which brings us to our second point, beds. Beds work just like workstations, but during the night. So let's imagine you are moving the villager from A to B, and nighttime falls. What do you do? Place a bed on the ground and the villager will walk to it. Then kick the villager out of the bed and sleep yourself to skip the night. The biggest danger of the point of interest method is mobs spawning during the night and attacking the villager. So make sure to skip the night as soon as you can. Then you can continue using your workstations. Now, let's say you are moving the villager across 2 locations using this method, and you come across a body of water. Then you'll encounter the harsh truth. Villagers are terrible swimmers. They don't even have hands. Or do they? Here is when you'll need to use a boat. Boats are a great way to transport villagers, both on water, of course, but also on land. If you want your villager to get on a boat, all you need to do is push it towards it. Or even better, place a workstation and put the boat on top. The villager will get into the boat by itself. Then break the workstation and you are ready to go. The only disadvantage they have is that they can't go up any block, no matter how small the gap is. For example, if you are using a boat in a path block, you can't get into grass because of this very small pixel. One very strong advantage that boats have is that they allow you to move 2 villagers at once over long distances. And I know what you're thinking, but Bruno, if there's 2 villagers in the boat, I can't ride it to move them. Oh, stick around and you'll see. You'll see. The next way to move villagers is by using minecarts. This, I think, is the most widely used method, but there's a couple things about it not many people know. First, getting the villager in the minecart. It's harder to get a villager in a minecart than on a boat, because the minecart needs to be moving towards the villager in order for it to ride it. Our previous workstation method won't work. You could use a setup like this, but there is something you need to know. Villagers will never pathfind through rails, so this guy will never try to go to the composter. You can though use a setup like this. so the villager will come in on this opening. Once it's close enough, push the minecart and there you go. Second, moving the carted villager. You can use rails to automate the movement of villagers from one place to the other without having to babysit them throughout the way. But you need to constantly accelerate the minecart to get it all the way, or it will just stop, or even worse, come back. You may be thinking, Bruno, I know how to do this. Power rails. But power rails are expensive to make and you have to lay them down properly or the villager will stop midway through. There is another method that is way cheaper and easier. The furnace minecart. Once you got your villager, place the furnace minecart behind it. Face the direction you want it to move and use a piece of coal on it. The furnace minecart will keep going for a total of 3 minutes, which is a lot. But if your rail is longer, just load another piece of coal. This method is not ideal for all situations, but it can be really useful and time-saving. Third, getting the villager out of the minecart. Sounds simple, right? Just break the minecart and the villager will pop out. But not so fast. Maybe you want the villager in a specific location like this. But when you break the minecart, that happens. Villagers will always try to jump to one of the blocks around the minecart first, if they have a valid spot to do so. And they can do it even if you place a wall that's lower than 2 blocks, like a block and a slab. So if you want to release a villager in a specific spot, make sure all the surrounding spots are blocked. Now we'll move into more advanced techniques, and mastering them will turn you into a villager moving expert. Did you know that you can put a boat in a minecart? And you guessed it, if you put 2 villagers in a boat, you can use this to move 2 villagers with 1 minecart. Also, they seem to achieve some kind of infinite acceleration if you do this, which is quite handy. This is the best way to move a couple of villagers for setting up a breeder in a new area and getting those fancy secret villagers. The next method is really useful for quickly moving villagers vertically. Bubble columns. You can use a contraption with water like this to push the villager into the bubble column, or you can use their pathfinding in a contraption like this. Up it goes! Oh! Look, another one! There it goes! I swear, I could do this all day. Imagine you want to get a swamp villager, but the only swamp you found is thousands of blocks away. Using any of the methods we described by themselves will require you to set a huge amount of rails or babysitting the villager for a very long time. What do you do then? Well, the same thing you do for getting there yourself. Nether Portals. This will allow you to move villagers through super long distances effortlessly. All you need to know is how to get a villager through a portal. First, you can't just push a villager in a minecart to a portal. Any mob riding a minecart or a boat will just not go through. So you can use points of interest to make them go there by themselves. Close one of the sides of the portal using fences or blocks and place a workstation so the villager has to go through to get it. Set up the portals first and make sure the path between them in the nether is safe. You can use the nether roof for this or an underground tunnel on the nether floor. Netherrack is quite easy to mine, just be careful with the lava. Make sure the tunnel is 2 by 2 blocks and that it's spawn proof with torches. Once the villager is in the nether, you can guide it to the other portal using workstations. Are there any tips or advice you know that I missed on this video? Share them down in the comments. And there you have it. Now you can use points of interest, boats, minecarts, and nether portals to move your villagers effortlessly. You became a true villager moving master. I built an insane slime farm based on a real-life flower, and all in hardcore with only half a heart. Check it out on this video. My name is Bruno and I am out. Goodbye.